These are... I think I'm going in the wrong side, guys. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom! In my 2+ years of watch modding, we've come up with some pretty unique watch builds, but nothing comes close to today's absolutely crazy watch build idea. Since so many of you guys loved how the original Ghost watch build turned out, today we will be building a second, better version that I like to call the Rainbow Ghost. And we will be using super affordable budget parts so you can replicate this Rainbow Ghost build as cheaply as possible, with the core of it all being this Synoke watch with a crazy rainbow backlight. So stick around to see what the Rainbow Ghost build ends up looking like, and especially how the backlight looks in the dark. So let's make a start with the budget parts you'll need for this build, kicking things off with the Synoke 9619. This is an incredibly affordable budget digital watch. Guys, I literally paid $3 for this bad boy. Look at it, there you go. Now, I did have another color choice to choose from. Check it out. So, I kind of regret getting this one. I thought it might work for the build. See, it's a bit... I thought it would be yellow, but it kind of just looks dull. So I think we're going to use the clear one. But guys, there is also a transparent blue one, which you can check out here. And I think that would look even cooler for this build. So feel free to grab that version instead. And if you would like to pick one up, head to genie.us/Synoke9619, linked in the description below, or scan the QR just here. And this Synoke 9619 is actually the exact same core that we used in our original Ghost Watch build, which you can check out the full video for here if you missed it. The next most important part of our Rainbow Ghost build is going to be the bracelet. Now on our original Ghost Watch, you can see that we went with this transparent clear version, but for the rainbow version, I've gone ahead and picked up 4 different coloured transparent straps. Alright, and by the way, a massive shout out to Paul for the suggestion to migrate all of my watch straps into a separate box. This is so much more organised, so thank you for that suggestion, Paul. So we have some 22mm straps here and also some 20mm, but I do have a suggestion to make these compatible, so stick around for that. If you would like to pick up any of these transparent bracelets for the best price, head over to genie.us/clearbrace or scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description below. The third most important part for this build is going to be to connect our straps to our watch. We're going to need some 18 to 20mm adapters. Now, you'll see I have 2 sets here, but you only need one. One of the sets here is plastic and one of the sets is metal. And I'm going to suggest that you go with the metal set like I am, guys, because both of these sets cost just $3, so why would you go with the plastic? So if you would like to get your hands on a set of these, head to genie.us/1820mm or scan the QR code on screen now. Now, a lot of you guys have also been asking me, why are we going with adapters, okay? Why can't we just connect the strap directly to the watch? Well, for a start, guys, these particular straps only come in either a 20mm or 22mm size, and if you look closely, these the width of the lugs here is 18mm, so it actually needs that adapter. But secondly, guys, it's actually, in my opinion, it looks better to step it out with an adapter. Alright, so as you can see with the original Ghost watch, it does look quite nice having it gradually step down, whereas if you were to get 18mm bracelets, in my opinion, it looks kind of weird, like it just goes, boom, too small down to that size. Now, of course, it is possible to attach straps that fit directly into the lugs, like I've done with my Bumblebee build, which you can check out here if you missed. But as you can see, it doesn't look perfectly clean as the lugs just go straight into the strap. So in my opinion, it does look a little bit nicer to use an adapter. Now, the next 2 parts are optional. Technically, you could skip out on these if you wanted to save some money, but I would highly recommend them. The first one is obviously a screen protector. You can go ahead and get one for the AE 1200 size, like I've done here, and that's just going to give you peace of mind so that you don't scratch the lens of your watch. And as you can see, it comes with this skimpy little incorrect size protector there, I guess just for travel, but that's not going to do much, is it? So I definitely recommend getting one of these at genie.us/protect or check the QR code on screen now. The next optional add-on that I would also recommend, just because it complements the the rainbow aesthetic of the watch is these gradient lens screen filters. Now, if you do buy them all at once, as I did, as a big set, the price per unit is very, very low, and you can use these on a bunch of different builds. And I did go with the AE1200 size, because if you were to get the smaller one, you've got less options, but this is the biggest size that they have, and you can always cut it down, can't you? So look, a few different options here, but clearly for the Rainbow Ghost, we're going to go ahead and use this rainbow filter here, aren't we? So I reckon this is going to look really, really cool over the screen, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. And if you would like to get your hands on this set of gradient lens filters, head to genie.us/gradient or scan the QR just here. Bubble is here to remind you to ram that like button, aren't you, Bubble? Because we are about to kick off the build of the Rainbow Ghost Watch. And, oh look, Bubble's even wearing her rainbow vest. What a handsome vest, isn't it, Bubble? Good girl. Poor. Good girl. Oh, yes. Yes. Alrighty, let's get this mod started by first removing these straps. We are not going to be needing these. Oh, I remember these bloody Synoke spring bars here. They don't really have a good piece there to grab. So anyway, let's get these off. Alrighty. Now we have our module here, nice and easy to work with. Okay. So let's go ahead and take this big bulbous case back off, okay? The reason we're doing this, guys, is because we are going to remove this faceplate. All right, next step is to take out our little rubber gasket here and pop this into our lubri joints to keep it nice and waterproof. So we're going to use our little cross-lock tweezers here. Bingo. Next, we're going to take out this module here. There we go. And we're just taking this out temporarily, guys, very quickly, while we remove this faceplate. Now, quick tip, guys, do not use your regular tweezers or you will scratch the inside of your lens, just like I found out the hard way with my Royale WS1700 module swap, which you can check out the video for here. You might not be able to see it, but there's internal scratches there that upset me every time I wear it. So I went ahead and got these rubber cross-lock tweezers, which I'd also highly recommend. You can see the link for these in the description below. Boom, just like that, we're done. And ye old module pops back in. Press these buttons in. Bingo. All right, let's take a quick look. Look at that. Take out our little rubber gasket here. Nice and greasy. And bang the case back right back on. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I doing? What am I doing, guys? Hold up. We are not done. We forgot the optional step of installing the gradient lens filter, didn't we? So let's get this module back out. Good thing I remembered before we got it all back together. Alrighty. So, oh, it's a bit awkward with this big old spring there, isn't it? Oh well. So, let's get our gradient filter out. Where is it? Okay. Now, we do have the rainbow version, but given how difficult of a process this is, I don't know, maybe it's just me and I suck at doing this, but the last time I went to put one of these on this one, it literally took me 5 times before we got one that was clean. So I would like to do at least one practice one. Yeah, I don't really expect to use this, and it goes from red to black. I feel like that's going to get in the way even if it did work. So we're going to try with this and see how we go. So let's do the first step, which is to cut it out. And we're going to try leaving a little bit of a border here. Oh, look at all this crap on my scissors from the LCD modding I've been doing, guys. Damn. Okay. It's all right to have a bit of a border. All right. So this is what the size will be. So let's see how much will it cover if it does. All right, so even with the black borders, guys, look, it does fully fit within the exposed LCD there. So I reckon we are going to do that with the rainbow one as well. We may as well leave the little black border, I guess, seeing as it's not going to get pressed up against the top or bottom. Okay, it does look like I've got a bit of something on the screen there. We do want this to be perfectly clean before anything goes on, guys. I do have a little blower here, but I feel like it's more something a bit greasy, so might have to bust out the isopropyl. There we go. Yep, just make sure it's nice and spotless, and then that IPA will dry up. Okay, so I'm just going to go and grab some tape. That's another technique I learned to help these go down smoothly. So let's grab that now. All right, I've gone and got the tape, but even though this is dried up, check this out, guys. I'm really going to bring this in. It's not even grime on the display. It's like the display, it's like the polarizer on top of the LCD has something under it. I don't know. Anyway, we've got no choice but to go ahead, but let's do our test run here. So, got some tape here, and I'm just going to assemble this into a little lowering device like so. So we're just going to basically pop this on here and then really kind of line that up and perfectly drop it down. Okay, so we're going to peel this off. Okay, and really try and get this straight. Alrighty, so our test one did go down pretty smoothly, although as you can see, almost like a crease there and a bit of a bubble there. But that bubble, guys, as I said, it's almost like that was already part of the display even before something went down. So a bit concerning. It's not going to be the end of the world. And yeah, I mean, look, if you wanted to, you could kind of cover it up a bit with the faceplate, but we're going to go without that. So let's get this off, and let's prepare the OG rainbow that we are going to be using. All right, looks pretty good to me. All right, we can probably use our same little... Oh, now hang on. Before we put this on, we want to decide which way up we want this to be. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. The hardest part to see is going to be the darkest, which is the bluey purple there. So we're going to cover that over the little... Well, that on the Synoke, it's not even a analog version of a clock really, it's just for show. So we're going to put it that way, which means we're going to put our little tape on at this angle. All right, oh, hang on. Oh yeah, that's ready to go. So let's peel up our test red version here. Now I think I've got a pretty perfect tool for the job. Oh. This one just here, guys, it's like I think it's made for like scraping paint and stuff, but I've been using this for projects around the house, and I think it's also good for just getting under stickers that have got quite low. So let's see if we can get this up. Get under the corner like that. We should be able to just grab it now. Bingo. And yep, I can see it. Again, it's going to be hard to show, but there's definitely a little bump already on this display, which is a bit disappointing. Not a lot we can do though, so let's get this rainbow filter down. Here we go. How are we looking, fellas? Oh my God. Guys, that went down absolutely immaculately. Look, it somehow masked over that bump that was there on the red version. I am super pleased with how this has turned out. Oh yeah. Okay, now we put it back together for real this time. Okay, right way up. Bingo. Let's take a look. Boom, look at that beautiful rainbow display. Let's get this skimpy little screen protector off actually so we can get a proper look. Ooh, isn't that magnificent, guys? Let's go ahead and get a real screen protector on this bad boy now to protect that beautiful lens. A little bit of grime left over from the last temporary protector, so of course we'll Get rid of that with some IPA. Wait a minute, what the hell is that? Look at this big greasy, ugh. I didn't put that there. That's not my fault. Let's get rid of that. God, how can it come with such a big greasy spot under its default protector? Man, get it together, Synoke. Alright, just use a microfiber to finish that off. Shit. Guys, have I ruined this display by using IPA? There's no way. What on earth? Yikes. Let's get that on there directly. And let's wipe that straight off with the microfiber. That is not good. Let it dry. It's still got that greasy spot there, man. So a bit disappointed in the quality control from Synoke here. Yeah, look at that big greasy spot. God. Now it feels like I've scratched it just by using a bloody cotton swab. That is so disappointing. You know what? I do have a backup actually. I can't believe I'm having to do this because it's literally a brand new watch. But I think, where is it? I think we're going to have to hit it with some Polywatch, guys. Yep, so as you can see, brand new out of the box, there's this big greasy stain, and this is the last thing I thought we were going to have to do, guys, to a brand new watch, but it's time for Polywatch Watch Polish. Let's see if this can save the day. All we do is put on a very small drop, okay, and normally you'd polish this for a couple of minutes. Hopefully we're not going to have to do that because it should be very minor and on the surface, but we're just going to use a little cotton pad here to just hopefully polish that away. Oh yeah, that looks so much better than it did, guys. Looks like Polywatch has came in to save the day. If you would like to pick up some Polywatch, head to genie.us/Polywatch or scan the QR code on screen now. It's not the first time this stuff has saved the day. Now, very interestingly, guys, last time I Polywatched and then tried to put on a screen protector, the screen protector would not stick. And one of you guys mentioned that it's probably because the Polywatch had left residue. Now this looks pretty dry to me. We are going to try and put this screen protector. So let us know in the comments, do you think it's going to stick or not? Because we're about to try. That looks like it's sticking to me. Ooh, perfect. Look at the optical clarity of that. And now we are all protected with this lovely screen protector. Oh yeah. All right, next up, we're going to try these budget 18 to 20 millimeter metal adapters. Here we go. Sweet, and check it out. It's got the quick release spring bars that you can just use your nail to attach, which means we should have a little notch. Yes, we do, just there. So we flip it over, get our 18mm adapter, put our little spring bar in, and we should just be able to use our nail. Boom. And she's in. Bingo. Excellent. Look at that, guys. We are now ready for the final step, which is to put on our colorful transparent bracelet. Let's do it. Alrighty, now the time has come to construct our beautiful transparent rainbow bracelet. The plan is to alternate links to achieve a rainbow effect. So let's bust them out. Alrighty guys, here they are. Now I've kept them separated by size. You'll note that the green and blue are 22mm and the red and yellow are 20mm. Now you might be thinking, how on earth are these going to be compatible? Well, you're not going to believe what I figured out, guys. Okay, we're going to need to use the 20mm ones to connect to the end piece of our adapter, as that's what size it is, okay? As you can see, 20mm fits perfectly. However, the 22mm is just too big. But look at this, guys. If you put a 20mm side by side with a 22, you'll see that they're literally the exact same width. So all that they've done when someone orders a 22mm is they have an additional end piece that kind of tapers up and widens it into a 22. So all that we're going to have to do is just make sure that we use a red or yellow end piece, and then we can extract as many of these inner links as we want to build our rainbow bracelet. So let's make a start. These are always annoying to take off. These little protective films here. I understand when they do this for metal straps, but come on. These are plastic. They're not going to scratch that easily. Oh, man, that was honestly very frustrating trying to peel all these plastics, protective plastics off the bracelets. But there we go. We are done. So, guys, the first thing that I would like to do is take one end link from the red and one end link from the yellow and attach them accordingly as our first course of action. So let's start with a yellow here. So take a close look at this, guys. You've got one end of the push pin there that's a little bit indented and one end that's kind of flush there. So with the indented end, you can just use a spring bar tool, and I don't even think we need the hammer. You can just push that. Oh god, my tool's starting to bend a bit, guys. We should be okay. Come on. Alright. Maybe we are going to use the hammer. Alright, let's do it right. Let's do it right. So we put it just there. Bingo. Now once it's out a little bit, so see we've pushed out the ribbed end there, okay? So if we pull that out, oh, the rest of it is quite smooth. So believe me, you do not want to push that ribbed end all the way through or it's going to be resisting you the whole way. Anyway, we've got our little end link here, just here. So we're going to attach that using one of our quick release spring bars, the 20mm ones that came with the yellow strap. Let's chuck this in. Boom. And, oh, that would look nice. See, we've got the yellow down on the lens here, so we'll put the yellow to match that down here as well. Boom, and that is securely attached to our metal adapter. Looking good. So, we'll keep this in our little tray here. And we'll do the same with the red half. So again, that's the ribbed end, so we're going to push it out from the opposite end. This little hammer tool set is very cheap as well, guys. You can pick this one up at genie.us/hammer. Again, we'll use our little spring bar, quick release. Oh, why doesn't... There we go. Okay. All right, and this is going to be the foundation of our rainbow bracelet, guys. So all we're going to do from now is, oh, we'll have to take the end piece off these, and then these are all 20mm, and we're just going to go down the line and keep putting one on. All right. Now, I think theoretically it would be cool to follow Roy G. Biv, you know, the rainbow color. So after red, yellow, so yeah, red, yellow, so green, and then blue. Red, yellow, green, blue. So we're gonna get these ends off and keep that pattern going. Let's do it.
Ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret.
All right, we have one of each color done now. So we're just gonna put in the push pin in the intended direction and keep this pattern going. So push it up like that. See there, same deal. Square them up. Beautiful. Now, what you would do at this point, guys, is you would want to give it on for a wrist check. At the moment, I am wearing my Casio A700W. This is one of my favorite watches, and it's a very quick review. One of my first reviews I made over 2 years ago, so you can check that one out here. But for most of you guys, you're going to want to start sizing this up and working out how many links you're going to want to do. Because I've already made the ghost watch here, I'm going to have the privilege of just being able to count this, okay? So 3, 4, 5, and then 6 with the end of the buckle. So I need 3 more ready on this end. Here we go. And you know what? I'm going to chisel off a few at a time just so that I've got a bit of ammunition to work with and I'm not fumbling around each time.
I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end. No.
Alrighty. So we've got 3 of each coloured ammo now. Hopefully that should be enough for now. So let's keep going with the pattern. And then on our 6th one, we're going to have to decide on using our buckle piece. So let's get to that now.
I've been through some injuries, mentally and physically. Studied them religiously, so I don't...
Alrighty, the time has come. Isn't that looking gorgeous, by the way? Just look at that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on, wrong side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the end piece. So we're up to green now. So I'm going to grab the corresponding side of the green buckle, which is this side just here. So we're just going to remove this one now and get this hooked in. Too easy. And we know this is going to hook in, but I'm going to be patient and we're going to work on extending this end until we know what the other end is going to be, because it might end up being green or we might want to put something else on before we get it locked in. So let's count the links on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So we have 6 more to go and then the end piece. Let's get to it. These are... I think I'm going in the wrong side, guys. Yeah. Is that easier? Oh no. Guess it's just tighter trying to put them back in.
I'm not okay, I just wanna be something. I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright.
And guys, make sure you get them up the right way, like that, okay? It would be quite easy to accidentally fumble and do that way, so, you know, just stay alert.
Say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret.
Alrighty, so we are now up to our 8th link, and it looks like it's going to be yellow. So we're going to take the end off our green piece here, and I reckon we can just, I think this is a normal spring bar, yeah. So boom, that's off, and we just grab the same piece off our yellow, boom, take that off, chuck it in, come on, get, there we go. Awesome. Take our last yellow link off. And hopefully, guys, this is going to be all that we need to finish our build. So, yellow will go here. Let's just double check. Yep. And then it opens that way. Yeah. Let's bang it all together. Oh boy. Here it is, guys. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful with this rainbow alternating links here on the bracelet? Do you know what it reminds me of? Oh man, the name eludes me, but it was some kind of a candy. One of you guys might know it. You used to get it in a roll, kind of like a pack of Lifesavers, but they were like, yeah, they were basically transparent, multicolored like this. I can't remember what they were called. They were bloody delicious though. Now I'm hungry. All right, I'll be right back in a second, and we're going to bang this on for a wrist check. All right, guys, here we go. Who is ready for a wrist check? Let me know. I'm keen. Let's bang it on. I'm hoping that the sizing lines up, because we did have... Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that strap. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. Look at this absolute magnificent beauty. When have you ever seen a watch anything like this? The Rainbow Ghost. Isn't it just beautiful? I'm so pleased with how this has come together. But let's go for the biggest moment right now, guys. Make sure you're a subscriber because we are about to turn the lights off for the backlight check. Here we go. And actually, wait a minute. I just realized it's probably not on rainbow mode. But here we go. Ready, set. Oh, ready. Oh, okay. We're on blue mode. No, that's not what we want, guys. We hold it down. No, we don't want orange. We hold it. We don't want purple. We don't want white. We want bloody Rainbow Disco Fiesta. Oh, look at this. Boom. Boom. This thing is an absolute raver's wet dream. This thing is insane, guys. So pleased with it. Let me know what you think about this Rainbow Ghost build down below. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed for more awesome watch builds just like this one. A massive thank you to our Goat Crew channel members for supporting the channel, you absolute legends. Up here will be a link to my OG Ghost Watch V1 build, and over on your left you'll see a link to our watch modding playlist. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.